have a confession. I have quit manifestation a million times. But every single time, I end up coming back to it because eventually I ask myself, what's the alternative? So for those of you that are new to me or like, who the heck is this woman? I am Brooke-Sidney. I am a mindset and manifestation coach. I'm the owner of the channel, Make Miracles Manifest. And I help people reprogram their mind so they can make miracles manifest. And we do that by changing our identity, changing the way we speak to ourselves, changing the way that we think about ourselves and about our lives. And admittedly, it's not easy work. I think that there is a misnomer when we get into manifestation that something outside of us is going to make things happen. I can't tell you the amount of comments that I've gotten thinking that this is anti-Christianity or something else, that we're calling on something to do things for us. Not on this channel, we're not. This channel is about transforming ourselves, and you can do that with God, without God. But ultimately, you're using your free will that God has given all of us. You can use the name that works for you to make changes to yourself so that you can transform your life, i.e., manifest the things that you desire. Our brains are simply big computer programs. That's why I have videos like Ask-Formations, I'll tag the one, that you can learn how to essentially prompt yourself to create new thoughts, to have your brain actually work on your behalf instead of against you, to help you find solutions, to help you manifest, and to help you think differently about your life. So I'm going to encourage you to check out my Ask-Formations. But this video today is specifically for those of us, including myself. Y'all, I do go back and sometimes watch my videos. This video is for those of us that feel like quitting. It's for those of us that are in the moment when all of this feels like shit. This video is for my friends out there that feels like manifestation does not work or it doesn't work for me. And I have to admit, and I'm on here today to share, I have felt that way too. I have completely felt that way too, especially when I have the same things that keep occurring in my life. I don't think I would be a good manifestation teacher if I hadn't experienced the struggles or don't experience the struggles, right? There's always new levels to things. So you figure out how to do one thing, guess what? Life is going to give you a bigger challenge where you still have to constantly rise and revise yourself. Rise and revise yourself through rewriting your scripts and stories about yourself. And that's what we do here. So one of the things, let's start off with some of the ways that I rework this whole I'm quitting, because trust me, I've been there, I'm being there. There's times where I truly want to give up and I think that it's crap. But I then remember my first point that I have to share with you is that the alternative is deciding that the circumstances or the 3D reality gets the last say. So if we're not actively working on ourselves or manifesting or trying to change things in our lives, then who's going to do it? How are our circumstances going to change? And for those of us that do believe in God and we're like, we're going to give it to God, that's great. God moves through our footsteps. God moves when we move. So we can surrender what there is to surrender, but our free will is requiring us to take active steps. And to me, those active steps are manifestation. To me, those active steps are working on ourselves, working on the ways that we're thinking about ourselves and realigning our identity and updating our programming so that we can have the things that we desire. But if we don't do it, guess what? Your 3D circumstances, they get to win. Yeah. So the second one is similar. You can just say your environment beat you. I hate to lose. And I've always been my own worst enemy. I can remember one of my first jobs out of college, and I was working as a national executive trainee for Sears. Y'all, that was back in the day. Some of you new people, you're not even going to know what Sears is. But I was working as a national executive trainee, and I remember one of my first mentors and bosses says, everyone's competing for you because you know they're ranking the trainees. Now, meanwhile, I've never been that competitive towards others. I've always been competitive with myself. And so I didn't even remember when his name was Jim Cake. I didn't even remember when he told me everyone's competing with you, because I was so like nose down, head focused on winning and getting the next promotion and getting the next department lead and stuff like that, that I wasn't even worried about other people. So to me, that mindset is applicable in this space of where it's you versus you. It's you versus you. You have to decide that you're going to beat your environment, that you're going to beat your old story, that you're going to beat the circumstances, that you're going to be better than the past, that your future is going to look better than your past did, that tomorrow is going to be better than yesterday. That to me is the essence of how I teach manifestation and how I teach mindset and how we have to walk with it. Otherwise, our environment in 3D beat us. And then let's talk about third. Let's go back to the drawing board. Because manifestation, I know it appears like that in the world. It looks like it's all about getting something that's on our vision board, or it's all about getting the money, getting the relationship, getting the opportunity. Like, that's what people believe that manifestation is. But at its core, those of us that have stepped on the path, those of us that are on the real journey, we know that's not what it's about at all. So we know that manifestation is all about who we are becoming as we are creating the manifestation, meaning as we are rewriting our own programs, as we are becoming someone new, becoming the person that has the manifestation that we desire. That's what manifestation is. So when we remind ourselves of that, we know that our desires are kind of like the carrots that we are hanging in front of ourselves, right? The breadcrumbs along the path to having the life that we desire and becoming the version of ourselves that has the life that we desire. So if we give up, like what? We just stay how we are? That ultimately is not an option for me. I might get down. I might get depressed. I might have a week or two of when I don't want to do anything and when I'm feeling bad for myself. But then I look up and I'm like, who is going to help me? Who is going to save me? I will pray. I will do all of that. And there's an element that is God's to do. That is the how and, behind the scenes. But then I am the receiver of the ideas. I'm the one who has to do the work. It's my hands and feet that are in motion. So at some point, you have to get back up and decide, no matter what, I'm going to do this. I am going to work on my identity. I'm going to work on the way that I think. I'm going to work on changing my behaviors and actions. And I'm going to start operating as a person who has my manifestation, has more money, has the lover, has the job, has the move, has the friends, has whatever it is you desire. You gift it to you. And I know that this work isn't easy, right? We all know that this work isn't easy because it forces us to look at our beliefs and it forces us to look at our stories about ourselves. I'm going to tag one of my recent things about that because it's really about what the story that we're telling ourselves about ourselves. If you look at any successful person, they have manifested the life of their dreams. I was listening last night to Megan Good give this amazing speech. And in the speech, she's giving all this credit to God, right? For helping her with the ideas, keeping her refreshed, even allowing her to meet the people that has come on her path. But again, you guys, she has to go and do the work. She has to become the person. She even says that she is so excited that she became the person of her dreams. She became the person that she prayed about. And I say that because it is up to us to examine what we are believing and thinking about ourselves. We don't become a Megan Good if we don't believe that we can become a Megan Good. We don't become the person who has the husband, the person that has the home, the person that has the amazing job or business until we believe that it is possible for us, until we rewrite the story about what we can have and who we can be. That's the work. And then the last thing that I want to say is that sometimes, even when I think, oh my gosh, I'm quitting, I'm tired of doing this work, I then realize kind of the honest truth is that we're always creating something. You don't actually stop manifesting because you decide today that you're stopping and that you're quitting and that you're going to go lay on the couch or that you're not doing anything else. You don't actually start manifesting. You don't stop. You just start manifesting something else. Or you keep manifesting what you're currently seeing in front of you. Remember, we're always manifesting. We're manifesting from the way that we're thinking, the way that we're speaking, the way that we're acting, and ultimately the way that we're believing. We're manifesting from whatever story and identity that we're currently inhabiting, right? What we are currently embodying. So you actually really, when I think about it, you really don't have a choice. You know, if you want your life to change, you have to change. So I keep coming back. Again, it's not because I believe I have to be perfect. It's not because I believe that I have to be positive 24/7. It's definitely not because I believe I can control every single thing in my life, because I cannot. But it's because I refuse to stop participating in the version of me that I am becoming. So yeah, I might quit manifestation a million times, but I'll probably come back to it 20 million more, because I would rather recommit to myself over and over and over again than decide that my 3D circumstances get to determine who I become. And if you're in that cycle right now of like believing, doubting, starting, stopping, and trying to get yourself back into alignment, that's exactly what we work on inside the Manifesting Frequency Accelerator. And if you know your block is deeper than that and you want personalized support, you can also book a one-on-one manifestation session with me. Because maybe the answer isn't becoming better at manifestation. Maybe it's becoming better at not abandoning yourself when reality hasn't caught up yet. I'll see you in the next video.